Check us
Wow.
out. Episode 152 of the 8th show.
This is a Halloween special.
Halloween special spooky episode.
So we're joined today by Miss Celeste Mott, who is a witch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, guys, This is a pre-warning.
Mhm.
I'm scared. I'm deathly I'm no joke, really freaked out because I studied black magic, not to do, but as a religion based kind of thing, right?
Okay.
I went deep into it and stuff, and that shit's real. So welcome to the show. Let everyone know who you are and what you do exactly.
Yeah, sure. Oh, so there's a giant clap of thunder in the background just as you said that. So there you go. It's beginning, you see. I control the weather. No. So my name's Celeste. I am a professional full-time witch and intuitive reader. I do tarot cards. I do ritual consultation for people. I do a little bit of mediumship too, which is where you talk to the dead. So I'm doing a little bit of everything, but I've been a witch, practicing witchcraft since I was around about 13, 14 years old. And yeah, now I'm 34. So more than half my life doing this work. I live in New Orleans, so it's a great city to do the work in.
So Celeste,
Yeah.
I just want to stop and get right into it. You said you talk to the dead. I just want to clarify. I saw Ali's face when you said that, and
There it is. There's the face.
Dude, I hear footsteps in my fucking alleyway. Stop saying I'm
Right.
scared. This is
'Cause
not a joke.
Ali believes in. Well, we've had different paranormal investigations
Yeah.
show before,
Yeah.
and we're learning more about the paranormal, really. And so you can tell us, what is it? How do you talk to the dead?
Yeah, so it's I'll be honest with you, for me, it's a newer part of what I offer to clients. So I don't advertise myself as medium. I'm not, that guy from the early 2000s, John Edward, who had that big stadium show, and this weird medium guy, super famous in America, but
All
really cringy, kind of a shyster. I don't do that because I think you're dealing with people's people's loved ones, people's grief. That's very intense. I don't want to be in any way exploitative of that. But over the course of doing the work that I do, more and more people would come to me and they would ask questions about their loved ones. And typically I try and keep a little bit of distance, and I'll say, you know what, I'm not gonna touch that unless I really get a strong feeling one way or the other. But I would start getting just little intuitive messages coming through. For me, it's almost I do sometimes see things, and we can talk about that too, but typically with clients, it'll just suddenly be this real strong push to be like, hey, you got to tell this lady about, a yellow tablecloth. You really just need to say yellow tablecloth, which is strange because you're having a conversation with someone like this and you feel like a crazy person suddenly being like, I got to stop you, yellow tablecloth. You sound like a complete lunatic.
I'm sorry, I'm lost. What's yellow tablecloth?
So it's just random stuff that comes through that to me as a human in conversation, it feels like it comes out of nowhere. It's not in the conversation. But then usually the client will say to me, oh, holy cow, that makes sense. My grandmother had this yellow tablecloth and we just found it while we were unpacking. And so you'll make a little connection there. So that's kind of like the talking to the dead. It's not like you're sitting there having a conversation on Zoom, but things will come through.
So you hear things, or so you have these thoughts, and you
it's almost
you
just
follow your intuition, basically.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like something sort of drops into your head.
Okay.
Stream of consciousness style.
Do you have to be in a certain meditative state or something to do it, or are you just you can do it normally?
That's a good question. I think meditative states, trance states definitely do help. I think if I was going to do a really intense session for someone, I would want to kind of put myself into a trance state first.
Yeah.
But typically with a client, the one-on-one with a client, you're already kind of tapped in. It just sort of happens organically for me. So I don't really need to do anything special.
Okay.
And increasingly, the more that you work with this stuff, your face is amazing.
I'm scared of it. I'm just scared. I'm saying
I love
this
it.
now.
It's amazing. the more you pay attention, I mean, you guys should know this if you're probing into the paranormal more, but the more you stare into the abyss stares back at you, you know.
Okay,
so.
listen. No, you can't say shit like that. You can't say shit like that. I expect you not to. Okay, this is some dark shit. I'm terrified right now. But hey,
that's
fuck
hilarious.
So you can put yourself in a trance. You said.
Yeah, I mean, so it's kind of like meditation, right? Like a trance state. I don't do it very often, to be honest with you, just because it's not something I find super necessary for the way that I work. But yeah, you know, a trance state, you meditate, you just kind of shift your consciousness a little bit, so you're less worried about what's for lunch or whatever.
Can we see a little something of that sort? Like,
I mean, we could, but you're not going to see much. You're just kind of going to see me like spacing out. It's going to look just kind of like I'm hungry or like angry or something. It's not going to be that impressive.
All right. So fair. We'll see later on the show if I get a bit more comfortable with this. Maybe I don't know. But until
there you
go. So what are you going for like in Halloween? What are you dressing up for? Like what?
So you know, here in New Orleans, the COVID situation is still pretty bad. Yeah. So I'm probably not going to leave my house, to be honest with you.
I mean,
yeah, it's pretty boring.
Okay. So what about Halloween? Why is Halloween like the scariest day of the month or the year? Is there like a little history?
Yeah, totally.
Because I was born on Halloween, by the way.
Oh, were you? Like, happy birthday almost.
I mean, this comes out on my birthday, so
well,
happy birthday,
happy
Halloween.
In
Thank you.
Podcast land, you know.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so Halloween, you know, in the Christian faith, they call it All Souls Day, right? The day after Halloween. And so throughout history, you've got this connection with like the 31st and the 1st of November being sort of attributed to the dead and attributed to sort of honoring the dead. You know, in Mexico, you have Dia de los Muertos, which is like around about the same time. I'm probably going to F that up in terms of the exact date. I know it's not the 31st. I think it's like the 2nd or 3rd of November. But it is sort of cross-culturally this time where, quote unquote, the veil is thin. Like you're going to hear people say that, right? The idea that we have a thinner line between the world of the living and the world of spirits, or the world of the dead. Yeah. Okay. And in Celtic tradition, it's called Samhain. So spelled Samhain, but you know, it's Gaelic, so it's Samhain. It's not Samhain. But yeah, that is, you know, traditionally a very, very old cultural celebration of the dead. And it was thought to be the night of the year where the spirits could sort of walk the earth. So you had to be very cautious and careful. And that's why we wear costumes in certain cultures and countries on Halloween.
Is it just to blend in with the spirits, or
to blend in, to scare the spirits, to kind of like push them off because you look scary, so you're kind of repelling them. Yeah, you look at that, you're like, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's gonna work.
I'm a little sus. I'm just a little sus. It's fine. So, but what are you dressing as? Even though, like at home, are you not gonna do like a little dress up?
I'm definitely gonna do something, but for me, you know, the 31st is a very sort of sacred time of the year for the work that I do. So for me, I'm actually taking kind of like a week off around Halloween. I'm not seeing any clients. I'm not doing any work with You're
just gonna chill with the ghost.
People. Yeah, I'm just gonna hang out with my dead family. You know, basically, I'm just gonna give offerings to my loved ones who have passed, and you know, do some.
So Ellie, what are you dressed up as?
Yeah, what are you going at?
I don't know if I really have a costume for Halloween.
Oh, you don't?
Not yet. I don't know. I should go.
You could use the goggles though. Incorporate the goggles somehow.
Yeah. Goggles, wear like a bandana around your neck. There you go. You're Mad Max.
Oh,
there you go.
I mean, look at me. I'm wearing what I wear every day, and I'm calling myself every Arab man's worst fear. His wife's gynecologist.
That's your costume.
That's what I'm as now. Like, this is my costume. I'm every Arab man's worst fear. His wife's gynecologist.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. Literally. Is that what you're gonna dress as on the day, or are you
on the day? Oh no, we don't have Halloween here. We don't deal with the spirits much. Yeah, it's seen as devil worshipping. No, that's during Ramadan, right? Like,
yeah.
Like that's. Wait, how do you know? What do you mean? Yeah? Did the spirits tell you that?
Oh, I studied comparative religion at undergrad, so.
Ooh, well, during Ramadan, we have like in the middle of Ramadan, we go out and we basically trick or treat without the trick, and it's more like give us candy, please.
Much
and
nicer.
we go
really.
around like around the block. So, and we do this right after we break our fast because no one's going out fasting 68-degree weather, you know,
Yeah,
trying to ask for candy that they're not going to eat for a couple of hours.
of course. Yeah.
It's not happening, right? But yeah, that's our trick or treat. So I don't know where to go from here. I'm still
Okay, Celeste, this is what I want to know. What's the best Halloween movie?
Ooh, so I love horror movies, unsurprisingly. Look at my face. But recently I just watched a movie called A Dark Song. A Dark Song is great. I feel like at least one of you would really not like it and probably should avoid it.
I don't do scary movies.
Yeah, it's very scary, and it's based on sort of real occult practice. So it's a very slow burn horror movie. It's very it's not lots of jump scares, but it's about a woman who has lost her child. She hires this occultist to go do this sort of 8-month-long ritual with her in this old abandoned house. So it's awesome. I loved it.
What is the occult?
The occult is a sort of umbrella term for the study of sort of magic and sorcery of like any kind. Occult just means hidden, right? So it's like hidden knowledge. But as opposed to sort of other kinds of mystical practices like Catholicism, in some ways is a mystical practice. There's rituals in Catholicism which have to do with, turning bread into flesh and all sorts of crazy shit. But there's my first shit. Okay.
No, it's fine. I'm scared of you, so you can say all the shit you like.
There's nothing that'll happen.
But
no limits to you.
That's not a cult because it's kind of its mainstream, right? You don't have to kind of have any kind of secret hidden knowledge to study the Bible. It's right there in every hotel room you go to. But the occult is sort of secret or hidden knowledge. So we think of the occult as witchcraft, as certain kinds of sorcery, mysticism, cultic practices from throughout the ages, and those kinds of things.
Is it true you guys sacrifice roosters to the devil and you start dancing around in its blood, or is that just in the movies?
I mean, personally, no, but I'm not going to speak for everybody. Some people may.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you, seriously, animal sacrifice definitely does happen in like certain kinds of witchcraft practice. Cross-cultural, all over the world, people do sacrifice animals. I don't love that. That's not my way. I've got a lot of animals. I love them.
Why do they sacrifice animals?
So blood sacrifice is very powerful. In certain cultures, it's considered to be a sort of, it's a payment almost. If you look way back into history, into like ancient times, Aztec culture, Mayan culture, you have
Mayans used to sacrifice human beings on top of a temple.
Yeah,
and let the blood stream down like the whole pyramid thing. Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
Just so you know why? Here's the funniest part. They do this so the sun can rise the next day.
I mean, you never know, right? If the sun's gonna rise or not, you better take care of it.
Yeah, holy but cow. Like we haven't had a heart cut out on top of a temple for like thousands of years now, and lo and behold, the sun is still rising every single day, right? Like,
thank goodness.
Yeah, that's because science came into play and was like, you guys can stop that now.
Right, you don't need to be cutting parts out of bodies anymore. We're good.
Gravity is doing its own thing, guys.
We're okay.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. How much of science goes into your witchcraft?
So I would say that's a good question. I do consider myself to be a surprisingly relatively rationally minded human being. Like I said, I did my undergrad degree was in philosophy and religion. So I've done, obviously philosophy is not science, but it does incorporate science and the scientific method in some capacity, definitely big on rational thought and logic. So everything that I do weighs that up. But to me, science is like anything else in life in the process of evolution. If you look at what science believed 300 years ago, we've made advances since then. So I personally think that magic is probably just a form of science that we don't entirely understand yet.
That's a fair statement.
I like
that statement. Yeah, I agree with that statement actually. But what's the scariest? Okay, I'm gonna hate asking this question. What's the scariest thing that you've seen personally?
Ooh.
Like magic gone wrong, pissed off a ghost.
Ghosts are often pissed off, so you don't have to do much to piss off a ghost. They're kind of already there. It kind of sucks to be dead to some degree, but that's a great question. So I've seen a few things that have been unsettling or scary. I think again that's part of doing the kind of work that I do, is you'll have experiences that are a little bit yikes. Magic gone wrong. Nothing has happened to me personally in a while that I would put in that category. Certainly when I was younger, I did some workings that worked, but worked in ways that were not exactly what I thought I was going to get. You know, it's the traditional
What do you
thing when,
mean? You know?
well, okay, so here's
I
the
don't know.
story. Typically speaking, for anyone listening, it's a pretty bad idea to do any kind of love spell. It's just not a good idea.
A love spell.
It's gonna go wrong,
Okay.
usually.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I was young and I was upset, and my boyfriend had broken up with me. So I did a spell to get my boyfriend back, and it worked. But it was then the next 6 months were really just like the worst nightmare of my life. Just huge. He turned out to be a huge asshole. There was a lot of cheating, you know, a lot of drama. And basically that's the universe saying, well, we're going to give you what you want, but, you know, think about this next time. Think through it before you make a request, you know.
It's
So
it's
there's
dangerous.
that.
Yeah. So there's a danger too. Whoa.
Did you do that?
Yes.
No, I'm being serious. Did you do that? I'm terrified.
Be careful what you wish for, I'm saying.
Careful what you wish for.
But I will say, you know, that wasn't scary so much as it was just a pain in the butt.
I mean, listen, I had a shoe shiner flung at me, so it's like, but I just woke up, you know, and I'm not a morning person. I don't care if you're a ghost, demon, or a human being.
You're
like,
not
you
about
piss
it.
me off in the morning, you're gonna get a return like this. But
Celeste, have you had paranormal experiences?
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, so one of the things that's scary that has happened to me is like I said earlier, the more that you start working with stuff, the more it starts kind of paying attention to you. And that's why you're going to get a lot of skeptics who are like, I don't believe in ghosts. They may never, right, have an experience, because they're kind of like, you've got a little shield almost of doubt. So if you never want to have a paranormal experience, just keep thinking to yourself, this is all bullshit, and probably you're not going to experience anything. But I had an experience a couple of months ago, I would say maybe 6 or 7 months ago, where all night I was seeing stuff in my bedroom. I was trying to go to sleep. I was definitely still awake, but I kept seeing things moving in the hallway, you know, little shadows and things. I saw a little girl standing in the door to my room.
What?
Yeah. And
come on.
That was my reaction too. I was like, "What? I'm sorry. What is happening here?"
So you saw a little girl. Was she like a human, or was she like a ghost?
No, just like pretty much looked like a regular little girl. She was dressed in sort of like old timey clothes, but she didn't look see-through or anything like that. Just looked like a little girl. And granted, I was, you know, in and out of sleep. I was trying to sleep. I was very tired. So my scientific rational mind is like, well, you know, let's think.
Sorry to
about
cut
that.
you off.
No, cut me off.
Either I was seeing things or a shadow, like literally. Ali, did you see that? Okay, Ali Saeed, I want you to replay that like 5 seconds back. Her door was light. There was like lighting there, but then like I don't know if I'm hallucinating right now or not. But was that your chair or was that?
Oh, that's my chair for sure. Nothing spooky there. Just the chair. That's so funny.
No, but honestly, I'm not joking. I actually saw like a little shadowy thing.
We'll replay it. We have this recorded. We'll find
there you go.
this
You
is
can
recorded,
replay it and we can find out. But that's exactly it. Sometimes it is that subtle. But this particular night, yeah, there was all sorts of shadowy stuff, which I take that with a grain of salt. But then there was this very clear little girl who was just in and out. Every time I would start to try and fall asleep, my heart would start beating out of its chest, like very, very anxious. I would wake up again. And then at one point, and this is the scary part, my bed started shaking. And that was when I was really like, okay, something's happening here. And it wasn't like, you know, in horror movies when they say the bed shakes and it's the whole bed is like vibrating. Yeah. It wasn't really like that. It was more like someone had put their hand on the mattress next to me and was just like shaking the mattress.
Oh, wow.
But, you know, I was wide awake, and a couple of times I was like, hang on, is it a cat? Is one of my cats scratching? Is my partner rolling over? No,
and you thought it was
just
this. What about like demons? Have you ever had?
Could also have been a demon. Who's to say?
Have you ever had
what's your have I had an experience with a demon? Not to my knowledge. Let's put it that way. But I do believe that those things exist for sure.
So here's what I was thinking, because in Arabic folklore and religious studies and things like that, a ghost can't take the form of a human completely. There has to be something off or weird about, because we call them jinns, which are demons, right? So if its top half is human, the legs are off. If the bottom half is human, like one arm might be off. Something has to be wrong, right? Two left hands, or like
Is that
hooves
in
as
for
we.
folklore?
Yeah, this is
Or
actually
or
the
is it
studies.
just
So
like
no. This is in the religion too. Like,
Oh, really?
but yeah, this is in the religion. It's basically they don't take jinns can't take the form of humans completely.
Completely.
They do not have the ability to do that.
Hmm.
So, is it just a regional thing, or do demons differ all over? Like, I don't know, species and shit, like cats or
Yeah.
dogs.
That's a good question. I did not know that about Jin, and I think that's really interesting. It's such that's such a awesome idea in terms of folklore. Like, I like that. To me, it makes sense, actually, like cosmologically, that if something was trying to replicate a human being, maybe something would be slightly off. And I think you do see threads of that idea in different myths and different legends and different, mythologies. You have like this, I don't know if you know about it, but this very pervasive internet myth that kind of sprung up sometime in the last 20 years of the black-eyed children. And it's like little children that will come up to people's cars in parking lots and things like that. And they're totally normal, except they have totally black eyes. So sometimes you don't notice that they are off until you look them right in the eyes, and then they've got these sort of black scleras. So I think that's like something that you do see cross-culturally. So, something about a demon or a spirit having something a little bit not right. But yeah, to answer your question, I think things are different depending on the culture, depending on the society in which the myth gave rise. Yeah.
Fair. Cool. So here's what we're gonna do. I want you see.
Do you though? Do you want me to?
No, but like I want to know. Like, I don't want to, but I'm pretty sure people are watching this one too. So I deliver. That's what I do.
I deliver. That's what I do.
I want you to do something spiritual, like scare the shit out of me. I want to leave this podcast with my pants soiled from how scared I am of you.
Let's man, I don't know if I want to make someone shit their pants on air. That's
I want to shit my pants. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to say to you. I mean, the main thing that I do for clients, right, is I'll do readings for them. So I can definitely take out my tarot cards and we can tell you about yourself. That could be fun. No,
I don't do
that. That's the threshold.
That's the threshold, because tarot card reading is like
it's against
my my belief, and like, so I was thinking something legit. Yeah, I was thinking of something more like you go into your trance state and then I don't know, ask a demon to like.
I find it really amusing that tarot cards are a hard no, but asking a demon to like explode your
let me tell you why.
Fine.
Here, let me explain to you why. With tarot cards, it's believed to tell you of the future, right? Which is seen as a huge no-no, and this was stopped the day the prophet was born. May peace be upon him. But when you ask a demon to come here, it's easy to deal with. I just put some Quran up and like the fucker leaves, like it's really easy. Chill. But with tarot cards, like there's a whole saying of the hadith that whoever brought forth a person.
It's very bad plan and no good. I got you.
Yeah, very, very bad. But if you can make a demon like Michael Jackson,
you can make a demon like go.
I mean, I could send an email probably to the demon. I got to be real with you. I don't really. I don't work with them. What can I do?
What about like dead? You said like you can. That yellow cloth thing you mentioned.
Yeah. Sometimes the dead will come through. Sometimes they'll chat.
Let's do it. Bring Joe. I used to play with him in New York.
Joe?
He played chess.
His name is Joe.
He's 60-year-old. He's black.
You're telling me too much. You're telling me too much about Joe now. Because now if I tell you anything, I'll be like, yeah, Joe says move the rook to E5.
No. There was a very good advice he gave me the last day I saw him.
Twice.
Oh, you
Eskimo
want to know
was
that? You want to know
yeah.
that?
Oh,
I'm
you wanna...
telling you, they talk in vagaries usually. I don't know if he's gonna spit that out.
I mean,
I feel
just
like
say,
I will. Okay, I'll tell you this.
there's
I'll
a
tell
key
you this.
word in like there's a key word that he would say in his advice. It's a key word, and he always says focus on that word.
Oh,
Yeah. So
okay.
let's see. Let's do
Well,
it.
I mean, if Joe wants to talk, and he may not, but I will tell you this. The only thing that's coming through really strongly for me right now is this is someone who had a lot of feelings about women, just like a lot of opinions about women. I don't know if he had been married like a couple times, or if he was like, there was a weird situation with a marriage that didn't, or a relationship that didn't work out. But the main thing that's coming through is and I don't know if this is what he told you, but that he just had a lot of feelings about relationships, women, advice about women. I don't know. That's what's coming through to me. And
Joe.
it may not even be Joe. You know, that's the
It might not
thing.
even be Joe. All right.
It's not. It's not exactly like a telephone. Sometimes you're not
I
quite
see.
able to kind of call
Yeah.
them up and be like,
All
"Come
right.
on through, Joe."
All right.
Unfortunately.
What else? What else are you getting? Let's dive deeper into that trance. All right. Let's.
Oh, okay.
let's
really
go
put
deep.
me on the spot.
I
mean,
I mean,
I don't know who it is who's talking about women, but somebody really has a lot of feelings about, and it comes from the space of this person had two relationships, both marriages, I think, that didn't work out. And they're just very insistent about, like, it's not don't get married, it's just like, be careful, watch what you're doing with your relationships, watch what you're doing with your marriage, because this happened to me and it didn't work out for me. I don't know if this is a friend or a family member, but just a lot of feelings about being wronged by women.
Ellie,
Okay,
is this
sounds good.
is this
Sounds
coming
good.
towards me or coming towards the other one?
Sounds good. All right.
It's hard to
Celeste,
say.
I gotta. Okay.
Ellie, do you know anyone that's like this?
I
Because
do
I'm
not-
trying to think. And
Okay.
in terms of marriage, my grandpa married like 8 times, but like,
Dang, good job,
Yeah.
Grandpa.
like he was a ladies man.
There you go. There you go.
But he's been dead a while, and like
Okay.
he doesn't know who I am, so I don't think it could
That's
be me.
strange.
Well, this is the interesting thing. I'll tell you this, and I'm not saying this is your granddad, but the funny thing about ancestors is they don't really need to know who you are. Like the ancestral line, and this is again something that there's scholarly research cross-culturally with this, but the ancestral line, even if this person never met you in life, once they cross over, they have an awareness of who you are, and they will sometimes come through. So you'll get people who'll tell you they can talk to ancestors from 10
do they watch what we do?
back. I mean, I would hope not constantly, because that'd be very uncomfortable, wouldn't it? Ooh.
I hope not to.
Yeah,
I really hope
Thank
not
you.
to.
What do you think happens to people after they die?
Yeah, life after death. What do you
Life after
think?
death. So because I was raised sort of loosely Christian, right? My mom was Catholic. My father did not have a specific religion, but I was raised, going to church. I think that it's hard to shake the kind of religion that you were raised in. Like, there is part of me that still has a belief that there's some kind of afterlife, and that hopefully it's some kind of like pleasant afterlife that people can go to, and it's enjoyable and not screaming horror, right? I don't really believe in hell. I think, if anything, if you've really messed up in this lifetime, you probably get reincarnated as something really horrible. I do believe in sort of karma and karmic cycles. So I have, incorporating a little bit of Eastern religion into that part of my cosmology. But I do think spirits exist, and so that tells me that after people die, something happens.
What kind of spirits like exist?
Yeah, I mean, ancestors, your dead. Here's an interesting story. You might appreciate this. So I had a friend and a client that I was working with recently, and she had unfortunately lost both of her parents in a very short space of time. And she was asking about her mom. And so we spent about 2 hours together. Her mom was definitely coming through. There were things that sort of mom was saying through me. And during the course of that reading, I got a really crazy rash like on my wrist. And I don't have a skin condition. I don't usually get rashes. There was no reason for it, but I just had this insane rash on my wrist. And so I left the session, went home, and I was texting the friend who had the reading. And I said to her, this is weird, but just out of interest, is there anything to do with your mom and a rash? Like, I have this, and I sent her a picture. I said, I have this crazy rash on my arm. I don't know why, but I feel compelled to tell you, like, is there anything, does this connect for you? And she said, shut the fuck up. When my mom passed away, they found her with a back scratcher in her hand and she was scratching her back. So a little bit weird, you know, a little bit weird.
That's strange. Do you ever find out like information you maybe don't want to share with people? Like when you're doing a tarot card reading or
often.
All right. And then what do you do? Do you share it or do you not?
I kind of feel it out. You can get a sense usually for whether people are in a place where they would appreciate that or be ready to hear it, or whether they're like really not.
What do you mean like ready to hear it? Like,
well, you know, like oftentimes it'll be information about relationships. That's a big one. And you know, sometimes people just they don't want to hear that, you know, if their partner is cheating or if there is, you know, some very big tension in the relationship, they don't want to be told bluntly, like, look, this is terrible, you should leave the relationship. So I'll try and find ways to sort of hint at the information or deliver it without being too blunt and too hurtful. But some people are ready. Some people are just like, hey, rip me apart. Well, I want to hear it. Let's go.
Alia, do you want to do one?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I know you're not too, you know.
I mean, I'm not too, but I mean, if it's fine with you, Ali, I know you might be.
I don't mind as long as it has nothing to do with me.
As long as he's not involved.
As long as I'm not influencing you, you're good, buddy. But like,
all right.
I hope I haven't, because I am not responsible.
All right.
Let it be known.
We can
let it be known.
Ali.
I don't think
you're not participating.
Exclusive on the A2 show. First tarot card reading on a podcast.
All right. Let's see. What have we got? So now, if you were here, you know, in the room, I would get you to shuffle the cards, but you're not, so we can't do that.
Can't you just put it up and like tell him to stop? Like,
I could, yeah, we could do that for sure. It's like we want to make sure they're good and mixed, but why don't you just tell me when you feel like they're
a little bit higher? Let's see.
Is that it? We're good. That's done. There was a screen, so I feel like that's good. Okay, so the first thing I usually ask my clients is if you have a question. You don't need one though. If you're just like, no question, super open, that's fine. All right. All right. And let me hold that up so you can see what I'm doing. Ooh, it's good stuff so far. All right. So you've gone ahead and pulled, or I've pulled for you, 3 cards. We've got the Ace of Cups. We've got the High Priestess. And very key, we have the Magician. So you've got some strong stuff coming up right away. What you got to understand about the tarot is it does use imagery that is like pretty esoteric and pretty kind of mystical. It also uses a lot of Christian imagery though, which is kind of weird. But the High Priestess, which is where we'll start, that's a card about getting in touch with your intuition. It doesn't surprise me that of the two of you, you're the person who was like, yeah, I'm okay with this. Like, let's get a reading. Because I feel like you're already a little bit more in touch with your like spooky side, your intuition. Of the two of you, my guess is that you're the person who's more like, yeah, you know, ghosts could be real. I don't know. I've had a few weird experiences. You're tapped in. You are a very intuitive person generally. Like if you get a gut sense that someone is like no bueno, you're not going to fuck with them. Like that's the end of that. And even though you are intelligent and rational, I feel like that intuition is a guiding force for you. And the High Priestess is saying, keep that up. Like there's a situation coming up right now about a relationship. And when I say relationship, I don't necessarily mean romance. I just mean there's a new connection in your life. I'm gonna say this is not coming. This is already in motion. There's someone that you've connected with recently. There's an opportunity involved. It's kind of like, hey, we're connecting and there's something we can build together here. This is exciting. But your intuition is like, I'm not sure. Is this connection a good idea? Do I need to include this person in what I'm doing? Or would it be better to just kind of go out on my own and, you know, to hell with this person, I'll make it on my own. I actually feel almost like this is connected to business, even though it's coming up as the Ace of Cups, which is a personal connection.
You fucker. Is that me?
I can't say anything, dude. All right. Is that
But
is that
final word on that. Here's what you really need to know. So you've got that intuition, you've got that new connection, but you also have the magician, and the magician is one of the best cards in the deck. This card basically says you can do it by yourself. You have all the tools you need right now to get this done.
We can stop now.
You can do it, man.
You're giving him wrong ideas. You really are. I know this is about me. I know this is about me.
I can't comment on anything, dude.
Well,
because you know it's true.
No, Ali, you know this is A2, right? So don't worry about that.
It could be A, the show.
No, it doesn't work.
Just A, a big old A. I've got an A on my wrist, actually. There you go. That's, believe it or not, that's an
A. No. We're not doing this. No. Hold on.
Okay. Ali, did you?
You did not just get that.
Did you just, Ali? You said I wanted to terrify.
Yeah, there's the magic trick right there.
You're terrified, right there, dude.
Thank you for watching another episode. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe, like, do that stuff. Sorry.
I'm gonna make him choke now. That's what's happening there.
You know, I'm not good with sarcasm, so I don't know if you're being sarcastic.
I'm definitely being sarcastic. Only good things. Only good things for both of you.
So you're like, you're not Draco Malfoy. You're more of a Sabrina type.
What's your Harry Potter house?
Oh, well, I am a Slytherin, unfortunately. So.
Unfortunately.
We got to be a little bit careful there.
I'm Gryffindor, by the way. Just saying.
What are you? What are you? You're a Ravenclaw?
I did my Pottermore.
I think I'm a Gryffindor.
You're a Gryffindor too.
Yeah.
I did my Pottermore quiz.
There you
Gryffindor.
go.
My Patronus is a horse. I think is a type of horse.
What's your Patronus?
Oh God, I did it ages ago on Pottermore. I feel like I was like a stoat or a weasel of some sort. I'm fine with it. They're cute. I'll take it.
Cute.
I'll take it. Wait, what's your wand though?
Oh boy, that I don't remember. I think it was ash. I want to say some kind of darker wood of some kind.
I think it was unicorn, 13 inches, unyielding flexibility.
There you go. Look at that little raised eyebrow there. Unyielding flexibility. Yeah.
Flexible as shit, right? But thank you, guys. Honestly, thank you for watching this Halloween special.
Can you tell some more Halloween movies to check out for the.
Oh yeah. So anyone who likes Halloween movies, like I said, I loved A Dark Song. That's worth checking out. I also watched The Black Coat's Daughter. That's a great one. And if you haven't seen It Follows, which came out, 5 or 6 years ago,
that's real spooky.
Amazing, really great movie. So recommended.
Right. If you were freaked out as much as I was, like this video, because I might not sleep tonight.
Yes.
Like, subscribe. Do you have anything you want to shout out? Let the world know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on Instagram at Celeste Mott with 2 T's, so you can find me on Instagram. That's where I do most of my stuff. And come and join the Creep Fest over on my Instagram.
I think I want to shout out God for protecting me.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you to our subscribers.
Thank you to our subscribers, obviously.
Please subscribe if you haven't. You know that 75% of people watching this aren't subscribed.
Why would you not? You guys subscribe or you're going to get cursed. Come on.
Subscribe or you're going to get
cursed.
I
have a second channel.
Subscribe. You heard it. Awesome.
Well, thanks for having me, you guys. I really appreciate it.
This was fun. Listen, I was honestly scared, but towards the end, I feel like, we've connected.
I think so too. Enjoy your day, guys.
Thank you. Subscribe to A2 of the show. We guys will see you. This is usually how we sign out. Salute to cover the cam, and peace.
You know when you walk into a room and you can just feel energy, like whether it's negative, like you walk into a room that's full of sunlight but it feels dark. There's that kind of thing, and it changes with whoever's in your mortuary at the time. So I do believe in energy, obviously. No one's come back to me and been like, hey, can you let everyone know that there is a heaven or a hell or whatever? But things happen, and it has to like the whole like lights turning on and off and doors opening and closing, and like I know other embalmers that believe that they've seen ghosts and whatnot. I don't necessarily believe in ghosts, but I think there's definitely energy